Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rev Talk. Kim and I have just been talking about different things to discuss and all the changing of the times now and visitors coming and going. It's summer. It's a whole different ballpark. And we've all had our little inconsistencies that have irritated us. So we decided today we're going to talk about going with the flow. And it sounds simple and it sounds easy, but we just found out it's not. Grown up and we like where we're at, and change is very hard. What do you think?
I agree. It really is a matter of being able to trust in divinity and trust in the flow of things, which I have issues with because I like my routine. I like my schedule. I know what I'm doing. I have it all planned in my head. So when something happens that kind of throws it off kilter a bit, it's it's uncomfortable and it throws me off. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that something has come along to change it up. I I get to learn to trust that it's all in divine timing, to trust that it's the divine orchestration of everything, and to breathe into it and let that flow rather than, this is my schedule, this is what I have to do, I have to get this, and I get caught up in that chatter. um so it's interesting. It is, we've got, and like you said, it is summer. Things are, people are vacationing, they're traveling, they're visiting, they're doing things. I've got my brother and sister-in-law coming in, tomorrow, and so there's that little things are kind of askew. So
When you said that, like I have a friend from New Zealand and my daughter and granddaughter are coming up. In the back of my mind, when you said that, I thought, I'm worried if they're going to judge me what I'm doing.
yeah.
I didn't think about that till just now, because what they're going to say when they leave here, what are they going to say about me? I'm happy here. But you still have that to be like everybody thinks you should be. And I guess that's what we need to work on, to actually trust that we are right where we're supposed to be and doing what we should be doing.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that till just then. And I'm going through a lot of stuff right now with my mother-in-law. And I keep seeing duplication of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, constantly, all day. And either it's a new beginning, it's an ending, it's just, you're where you're supposed to be. But when?
Right.
How much more can I physically take? And that's when I have to go back and I have to realize it's your mind that's telling you you've got opposition and adversity, because you can flip it. And it's really, really hard. I was telling you, I got home and she's sitting on the chair outside calling the police. And I mean, all the neighbors are out working on their yard. And I thought, oh, great. So, like an idiot, I shouldn't say that. I go, the police are coming. Don't worry, they'll take you. And I realized that's what I want. That's not what infinity wants. That's not what Mother Earth, that's not what the spirit is trying to tell me. Just have patience and go with the flow.
Right.
It's really hard. And when your brother gets here, you're going to think, oh, what's he going to say? What my, and family is the worst because they nitpick with you. It's how you grew up. It's just the way it is. And you just got to roll with the punches. But I think that this is why we're having such a hard time this season, is because there's so much going on that normally isn't. It's been, what, 3 years since he's been out here?
Let's see, two.
Two?
When dad
Yeah, and
when dad passed,
that
he was out. It's been two, but even so, that's a lot of time. And yes, there are, you know, I don't necessarily need to worry about whether he's going to say something. He probably will, you know,
it's your reaction.
and that's why I have to kind of, you know, get myself into a mindset of not being triggered by old patterns, not allowing myself to be triggered by the old patterning. And it's the same thing, what are people going to think? I frankly, at this point, I don't really care. It bothers me sometimes, the niggling and the nitpicking and the pick at you. That will set me off faster than anything else. And I have to learn again to go with the flow and to say, okay, this is a lesson for me to learn. This is something for me to breathe into, to step back and to not jump in, triggered, immediately get into something with somebody. And to remind myself too that I can just leave. I don't have to stay and put
The
up with
whole
it.
time.
I can get up and leave. And it's the same thing for you for the most part.
I can't get up and leave her anymore.
Well, not at any great distance.
But I can go to my sanctuary, and that's what I find in my blessing. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and you have a safe space to be able to go to, which everybody needs. I think everybody needs to have a safe space for themselves just to be able to decompress and to be themselves without any judgments or perceived judgments. Sometimes our own critical selves, I'm right there, is saying this and this, and really, nobody's saying it except me.
True. Yeah, you have to listen to your inner guidance, and it's telling you, okay, just calm down, slow down, rest, and it's easier said than done, and that's why we're here. My gardener, my spirit pruner, I don't know how we got to talking to it, but he's in that one consciousness, and he's in planes. And it was so interesting. We call them energy levels. We call them the 5D, but you don't know how many people out there are searching for the same thing, and you call it 50 different things, but it's all the same thing. And the more I see, because he had almost 10 people working on the yard, and they're all on the same wavelength. They blessed the trees. They thanked him. We took trees out, and I said, I can't see this. Yeah. And he says, no, we're honoring them for all they've done for us. And to see that in just a little group of people that were out in the Bodaks that are still right where we're supposed to be to help Mother Earth come up and get this vibration going, get this love for everyone going, and not get hung up with the little day-to-day that we do. Because every morning I don't know when I'm going to get up. Now, you're not going to know this next couple of days what you're going to be doing either. So it's all going to be up in the air. But we just got to trust and have faith. We're right where we're supposed to be.
Yes.
We can breathe.
Yes. It's beautiful. That's beautiful, because we truly are exactly where we are supposed to be. There are no mistakes. I mean, we've said this before. There are no mistakes. Okay.
He brought up a question. We were talking about free will. And that's something my daughter, we don't have free will. We know where we're going. We know what it is. It's just which paths we take. So that's not free will, because you can't go anywhere. You're going to go where that ultimately leads. And I just realized, that's true. We made an agreement when we came here to do this, Doesn't matter how we get there, we're going to do it. Whether we're going to enjoy it, we're going to hate it, we're going to fight it, or we're going to go with the flow. And he explained it away. You still have free will. And your ultimate goal is here, but you don't know what the ultimate goal is. You really don't. So you don't know what hilltop you're going to. But he explained it a whole different way. And I thought, it's the same thing I'm saying, but in a different way. And that's what made me realize there's a lot of people. They have a channeling group once a month.
Wow.
I thought, and they do Kundalini, which I love. And I haven't done it in years. And I thought, I might just start going to that. Ray goes, oh, no, you're not. You know, no. I'm happy where you're at. And I thought, there's a lot more like-minded people out there. And we are all as a unit improving day to day everything that's going on in this world.
Well, and there's more and more people that are reaching, or that are finding that vibration for them, that are finding that sanctuary, that comfort zone for them. And when you were talking about free will, I was kind of smiling, because there is somebody that does have some triggers with the free will and what we say. So I was just smiling about that, because so I'm like, he'll listen to this. And
I didn't even think about that, but it just fit, because this is exactly what we're going through right now.
Well, and it is true that, going with the flow is so important. And again, like I've said, if you don't like how something, and you feel into it, if you don't like how something feels into it, as far as going with the flow, you're going with the flow when it feels right, when it feels good, when you're comfortable, when so that's the key to figuring out the going with the flow. When you're feeling angst, or you're angry, or you're upset, or you're irritated, that means you're digging your heels in, and it's like, there's the discomfort. You're not going with the flow. It's like being in a river or a stream. You're sitting on one of those big inner tubes, just floating down there, and it feels all great. If you're not going with the flow and you're struggling against the current, you get tired, you're exhausted. So that's the indication that, okay, oh, I'm not going with the flow. Oh, okay, just relax and let it go.
I that's what I'm going to look at as an inner tube on the river. Either go with it or not, because in your mind, I've got to do this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to stop and take care of this. I can't. I'm out of my schedule, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And the card I drew the other day was go with the flow, and I thought, oh, you don't want to hear this stuff, and yet it's right smack dab in your face.
So little reminders. Little reminders along the way. Here this is. I love it. I love it. Well, and of course, the card I pulled this morning, which, oh my gosh, there it is. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I don't know what that means. Acceptance.
Oh.
Acceptance. Oh, and he's sitting in the middle of a little lake on a little lily pad. There he is. He's in a little acceptance. There it is. I'm
going to start using that deck again.
I love this deck. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Just I usually do it every morning. What's the day got for me? It was like acceptance. Like, oh, okay, all right. And then I put it down, and I don't necessarily concentrate on it right away. But as my day goes by, I look at it again like, oh, okay, so what is it that I was to be accepting of? And okay, schedules. I need to be more accepting of going with the flow and allowing it to just happen.
Because we work and we have hours we get our work done,
Mm-hmm.
Our whole life revolves around. And to change that, it's chaos for us. It's very hard.
Yeah.
And that's we have to accept that and just keep, and we will. It's just getting there.
Well, it's just it's also kind of telling our ego, which is an important part of being here. It is not something to push aside and to say, oh, go away, because that's not going to happen. But your ego has already always helped you as best it can with its limitations. So when it's the ego saying to us, oh, I don't like the change. Oh, we got to do this. Oh, we, all of that. Yeah, let it know. It's, you know what? It's okay. It's all right.
It's going to be okay.
You know what? It's okay to change it up a little bit. It's okay. You give yourself permission to do that, because otherwise you become so rigid in what you're doing that you're missing out on some of the beautiful things that happen naturally all around you. Like right now I'm sitting here and I've got hummingbird coming to my feeder, and it flies away, and then another one comes back, and I'm watching this because it's like, okay, it might be a little distracting. Oop, there he goes. It's also a beautiful reminder of just letting it happen, and it's showing me something beautiful that I love. I love my hummingbirds. I love seeing them.
Yeah. Now that I'm using your formula, I've got 4 hummingbird feeders up, and they're always full. And Ray goes out and he opens the thing so they can sit. I go, that's what it's for. Oh no, it's not opened all the way. And he goes out and twists them all the way. They sit there and they bit back and bit back. And we watch it every morning with our coffee. He likes that and the squirrels.
It's a wonderful way to
I like everything.
And to start your day on a positive note.
Yes.
And to help you go with the flow like nature.
I've realized I've got to get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock now, because that's when the sun's up here. I can't wait till the time change. But if I'm up, I can go outside and see all this and be one with it. It's important to just go with the flow. Starts your day correct.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, my dear, with our busy schedules going on, I think I'm complete here.
I am too. I think these talks help me more. I hope somebody's getting something from this, because there's a lot out there.
It's that one person we try to reach. If it's you or me, it's all good.
That's exactly right.
So with that, my friends, we want to thank you again for joining us for another Rev Talk. We ask you to remember to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself, and to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well.